Hi guys, Harry here, and today's just another quick video showing you something from my show file. Someone on my last video commented how the color picker can be used with any show file and any type of fixtures and how you can export it. The way that I use my color picker, which is here, I don't need to export it. I use the same show file for every event that I do. Most of you, well, some of you will be familiar with this because MA has a feature called cloning, which basically means you can program one set of fixtures, and then say if you program Vipers as your spot in your show file, then say if you turn up to site and they've actually got pointers, you can then clone those Vipers to do exactly what the pointers would do, and MA will do its best to move the attributes around to program what the Vipers would have done, but with the pointers, if that makes sense. So I do that with my show file, but I also import from a program called WYSIWYG where I design all my wigs. So it's going to be a two-part video. The first bit's going to be about how I import from WYSIWYG and how I create all my groups from WYSIWYG, and the second part is going to be how I clone all my fixture data to the new set of fixtures from the import from WYSIWYG. So I'm just going to start by importing a fresh file from WYSIWYG. So if I just change my view to that, now hopefully you should be able to just see WYSIWYG on the screen. So this is just a really small wig. It's much smaller to what I usually do, but it's just an example. So I've got this wig here. You can see it's all patched, and I've got all my fixture IDs, which is in the spot column. Very important that it's in the spot column because that's what the converter software uses. So got all my fixture IDs in the spot column, and I've got all my patch there. I'm using one universe because it's an example and it's quick. So all I do is go to File, that's all, Spreadsheet, right, Spreadsheet View, when WYSIWYG catches up, File, Export, needs to be on all data, right, File, Export, and then I'm just going to get into my export folder. I'm not sure whether you can see this or not, but I'm just saving it. When I click export, it's saving it as an Excel spreadsheet. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to call this small band 1 tutorial. And then I'm going to save type as. You won't be able to see this on the screen, but you know in the window, and you've got file name and you've got save type as. I'm going to click on that and just click CSV, which is a comma delimited file. So I'm just going to click save on that, and then that is all we need to do with WYSIWYG. So I'm just going to go into live view, wait for that to pop up, and there we go, we're now in live view. So then I'm going to open another piece of software, which I'm not sure what the guy's name is. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's down here, but I give him full credit for this because I didn't make this at all. But basically what this does, this uses that exported file from WYSIWYG and will then convert it into macros for MA2. So if I click on load CSV, and then I'm just going to click on small band 1 tutorial, and you can see that it comes up with QSpots, WYSIWYG washes, and MegaGo 64s. You've got your count, and then you've got your fixture IDs, which are there, which is got from using fixture ID from the spot channel, which is what I said when we were in WYSIWYG. And then you've got the fixture type, which I am going to leave at 2 because that's what it's going to import as, which obviously fixture type 2 is by default dimmer in MA. But then obviously once you've imported, you can then change what they actually are. So you can see that it's got import, patch, move, and groups. Now that was obviously there. Let me try again. That will obviously import the fixture, patch the fixture, then move it to its 3D position from the WYSIWYG file, and then also create the initial groups as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and disable layers, purpose, focus, colors, and gobos, because those are columns in WYSIWYG that I don't use personally, but if you use them, feel free to keep them enabled. But I just use types and positions. So I'm just going to hit export files and just click on my memory stick and press OK. And I'll wait for it to pop up. And you won't be able to see this because of how I've set up OBS, but it says export finished, and it's exported to the MA folder on my memory stick. So I'm just going to click OK on that, and that's the one in for that folder. So I'm just going to switch back to MA. So let me just hop back there, and that's just going to start by opening up setup. We're going to go to import export. I'm going to go to import macros, click on the memory stick, go to WYSIWYG to MA2, and you're going to ignore the import layers macro. On my show file, I have a separate import layers which works for every export of WYSIWYG. But if you're doing this to start, obviously import that one, but I'm just going to ignore that for now. So I'm just going to do patch fixtures, move fixtures, and create groups. Now I'm going to start these at macro 3, I believe. Let me just check that before I stupidly overwrite something. Macro 4, right, okay. So let's go back and setup. Macros, right. Starting them at 4. Just going to do import. And I'm just going to go back to there. So now you can see that it's got WYSIWYG MA, patch fixtures, move fixtures, and create groups. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to run this init macro. And that init macro is basically just deleting all previous groups, so nothing's going to mess up with what's there. So I'm now just going to run this name groups macro, which basically just names the types of fixtures. So I'm just going to do QSpot, name the washes. They're not actually washes. They're going to name the spots. They're not going to be spots. They're going to be washes, and they're going to be R2s, and then they're going to be mega pars. I don't know what they are. And now we're just going to import fixtures. Now I believe because it's on USB, it's going to be number 4. And how many fixture types? That is 3 fixture types. So I'm just going to press OK on that. And you can see that that is imported Mega Go Past 64, all of them there, all of them there, and all of them there. Now you can see that these have actually imported as pointers, but that's because of my show file fixture type 2 is a pointy. So that's why it's done that. You can ignore all these layers down here. That's just for extra cloning. I'll show that in part 2 of this video. So what we can do now, we can go and replace these with, let's go to internal, and it's Mega Go Past 64, and these are in 7 channel mode. So if I go import transform, R2 wash, exactly the same. WYSIWYG R2 wash, they're in 15 channel mode, I believe. So let's do import, and then QSpot, exactly the same. QSpot, and I believe they are QSpot 575s. So let's just do 575, import, transform. So now you can exit out of the patch, and then you just want to run the macro called patch fixtures. And simple as that. You didn't see it for long because there's not many fixtures, but if I run that again, you can see that it's actually patching every fixture from the WYSIWYG file. Now if I click move fixtures, that was also very quick, but what that's basically doing is moving them around in the 3D space. So say if you're using MA3D, that would be moving them around in there, which can also be useful for creating layout views from a camera view. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click create groups. And that was also very quick, but what that's done, that has gone and created initial groups there. So now what I'm going to do is go back to here, go back to there, and I'm going to run a macro called generate truss groups. So what this does, it's basically, this is a macro that I've created. It will take the initial group that the file has created, and then will say if at the group of the position, which then means it will create for each fixture type, it will create a group of each position in your rig. So say if you've got 4 trusses and you've got 6 pointers on all of those 4 trusses, it will create 4 groups with 6 pointers in relevant to those trusses. So the position that it's imported is floor, so I'm just going to enter position name floor, and easy as that, go back to here, go back to groups, QSpot 4, and that has created that from that, if that, there. I'm not going to open that macro because there is a lot of other stuff in it which I'm not going to release, but that's basically what that does. And that is how I import from WYSIWYG and into my show file. In the next video, I'll be talking about cloning and how I clone all my stuff into the pre-programmed setup. So that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.